smoking up joints.
Our performance task is a combination of English and TLE. So this one is a big PT for English and TLE. We'll be combining it. So what you are going to do for this task is you're going to do a digital storytelling. So you're going to tell a story using digital methods, by digital means, by technology. So how are we going to do that? So my instructions is this. You should write a short story following the plot structure that we tackled in lesson 6 of English. The character, setting, conflict, and the plot. The plot should include introduction, rising action, climax, falling action, and ending. So basically, you just have to follow that 5-part plot to get a good score. The story can be inspired from multiple stories that you have once read or watched, but not a rip-off. So meaning to say, you can take characters from other stories or movies or games that you played or watched and combine them all together if you want to make the story like that. You can also take settings from movies or games or stories that you've watched or listened to or played. You can take those kinds of details from other stories, but you should not make a rip-off. When we say rip-off, the exact stories, characters, setting of a story na isa lang, you cannot do that. You can combine all of the things or all of the stories that you really like and create a whole other story, pero you cannot use the same story for everything. Yung babaguhin mo lang yung characters and setting in the same plot. So, hindi po pwede yun. But you can combine. You can make use of that. Then, on the second part, yung first part is the English part. On the second part, create a video telling a story with proper characterization, emotion, and delivery. You can create props or pictures using PowerPoint to make your storytelling more creative. And, since we talked about entrepreneurship and products, we need to include a name of a product in our story for product placement or advertising. So for example, I made a story and I need to put a product, a real life product there just to advertise. For example, I have this character whose special weapon is Coca-Cola. Every time he drinks Coca-Cola, he becomes extra powerful. And, you know, he'll be using that extra power taken from Coca-Cola to defeat the final enemy in the climax. So, pwede yung ganon. O kaya man, you can name weapons or yung mga special things or special items that. For example, the sword of Coca-Cola, the sword of Knorr chicken cubes. Pwede yun. It's up to you. Be creative with that. Or if you want to use characters like Jollibee and McDonald's, just to make the product placement even more obvious, you can make Jollibee your main character. If you want, it's up to you. It's up to you. Anything will do. Just follow the story plot that I'm telling you guys. So this is the scoring that we are going to do. So for grammar, I'm gonna be watching your nouns and verbs in the sentences or in the story. So if you use nouns and verbs all correctly and sentences are written correctly, yeah, we can give you a perfect score, perfect 5. So every time you make a mistake, you're in grammar or in nouns and verbs specifically, your scores will be reduced. Next one is the plot structure. So your story needs to have an intro, rising action, climax, falling action, and conclusion. If one of the part is missing, then your score will be deducted. Next one is creativity. When you're creating the story, when you're creating the props or the pictures of your story, I'll be scoring your creativity with that. So what kind of background did you use? Did you put the characters there? Did you put their dialogue there or whatsoever? It's up to you. Did you put a background music there? It's up to you. Next one is the delivery. The delivery naman, this is how you deliver reading your story. So you're going to read the story, that could be the background sound of the story or of the video that you're gonna edit. So make sure that you deliver it with proper voicing and characterization. So just like what I do always when I'm reading you guys a story, I change my voice a bit. If it's a girl, I would like, so this, you know guys, you can do that, voice like a girl, or you can voice like a man. You can try voicing it out. But sir, what if it's kind of hard to do? Try it. If it doesn't sound that well, and I know you tried, I'll be giving you a good score still. And video editing. So, video editing part, I just need you guys to edit it neatly, maayos lang. And remember, do not shoot in portrait. When we say landscape, nakahiga yung ine-edit nating videos. Is that clear? Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Instruments, sir, pwede naman, it's up to you. Sir, pwede po maghanap ng animation video pero gagawa ng story? Nope. It should be your own. I'll be giving you a tip on how to create one ng mabilisan. Sir, the due date will be on Monday. Here, I'm gonna give you a tip on how to create a story as fast as I can. Are you ready, guys? Take down notes. This one will be easy. Okay. So, if you wanna make it easier for you, you're going to select a character that is already existing. Pipili kayo ng character that is already existing so that you can search it in Google easily. Gets? So if you're gonna choose a character like Naruto, you're gonna use him, and you're gonna see him all around Google, madaling mag-download ng picture ni Naruto. You can also use characters like a boy or a girl and name them anything. You can see boys and girls in Google. So that's basic as that is. So introduction, I'm going to introduce a character. Once there was a boy. His name is John. Okay, we have the character. And he lives in a town called Santa Rosa. Okay, so that's the setting. He likes drinking Milo. Oh, I already put the product quickly. Gets? Okay, so that's it. Suddenly, let's have the introduction. That's a part. Let's put the rising action. I already introduced the character. We have John, who lives in Santa Rosa, and he likes to drink Milo. Let's give the rising action. One day, on a fateful day, there came a big monster who stole every Milo around town. So basically, this monster also likes Milo, and he stole all the Milo in town and went to a place in a cave called Dark Cave. Because John loves Milo so much, he couldn't take what's happening. That's why he devised a plan in order to save all the precious Milo that he loves. You get the point? So that's a simple story. We have the problem and rising action, and the story will revolve around John trying to find out the best way to save or to get all the Milo this monster stole back to town. You're getting the story? Nakukuha? Okay. So that's the rising action. So to continue on with the story, first, he called two of his friends. He called Mary and Jake to help him out. Together, they created weapons maybe. They created weapons to try and defeat this monster. And when they were ready, he called Jake and Mary, and together with John, they went inside the cave. Now, on that cave, they met the monster. But before that, they found out that these monsters also have minions. May mga maliliit na minions. he created the minions out of Milo. So these are Milo goblins. We'll call it Milo goblins. Okay. So the Milo goblins started to attack John, Mary, and Jake. And they couldn't defeat it kasi every time daw that they slice the Milo monsters or the Milo goblins, it just goes back to normal. Oh no, so that's a part of the rising action coming to the climax. And then suddenly they accidentally pushed the monster in the lake near the cave. And the monster started to dissolve. And then they discovered that the weakness of the Milo monsters is water. So suddenly, they started using the water and defeat those little minions. And then, when they finally met the evil monster or the evil, whoever it is, the evil monster, who stole all the Milo, they discovered that it wasn't actually a monster. But it was another kid who just loves Milo also. So this time, instead of trying to face the enemy, they became friends. They discovered that this kid was only being so obsessed with Milo. And yun, they talked. John talked to him and also his friends. And on the last part, they didn't fight. They just talked to each other. And on the falling action, they decided to just be friends. And then, the kid who they thought was a monster decided to give back all the Milo. And then, everything came back to normal and they became friends. And the ending will be, they lived happily ever after with a new friend with all their Milo back in town. That's a weird story, but at least we created a story. Gets? So it's simple as that. You can create at least 5 slides for that. One for the introduction, one for the rising action, one for the climax, one for the falling action, and one for the resolution. Sir, why did you use Milo? Why did you use John? Why did you use a cave? And why did you use town? Kasi when we're using simple characters and places like that, madali siyang hanapin sa Google. Gets? So, it's the same thing that you're gonna do. You're gonna download the images from Google and then you're going to put it in PowerPoint. And then, you're going to save them as a picture. Remember yung saving natin? Save as, then save as picture. And then, ayun, when you save them as picture, you can put them in the Power Director na. After that, i-record nyo lang naman yung boses nyo. Tapos, ipapatong nyo lang doon sa may Power Director or the video editing software that you're going to use. And then, you're going to place all of the pictures there na ginawa nyo. And then, you're just going to extend it kung gaano kahaba yung part habang kinikwento nyo yung story. So, basically, that's it.
Ay, look at that boy, huh? Cooking up joints.